What do you say, everybody? Look who's here. It's Kyle Henderson in Innisfree for the show. What's up, dude?
Man, I got the peanut butter, the screwball, sunglasses on. I'm feeling good. The sun is always shining when it's cool outside. Thanks for joining us on the BamaInsider Tailgate Show. The Tailgate Show from Innisfree starts now.
The BamaInsider Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With Bama Insider Managing Editor Kyle Henderson, recruiting expert Andrew Bone, and former Crimson Tide Sports Network broadcaster and SEC Network play-by-play voice Mick Gillispie. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is presented by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery and the only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's Play, now featuring the sports book at the Timeout Lounge. Also brought to you by the Floribama world-famous Beach Bar and Lounge in Orange Beach. Genesis of Tuscaloosa, luxury with a national championship service department. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like. Innisfree, an Alabama Irish pub tradition. Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports, not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. Commercial banker Jay Weber with Service First Bank. Hotel Indigo, Tuscaloosa's amazing upscale boutique lodging in downtown. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. R&R Cigar in downtown Tuscaloosa, home of the Victory Cigar. And Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. Now, here are Kyle and Mick.
What do you say, everybody, and welcome to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. The show is brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery, and for the next 2 hours, we're going to preview Alabama Southern Miss. That's 6:30 at Bryant-Denny Stadium. On the show today, we got a great lineup. Jeff Cameron from the College Sportsbook. Him and I are playing the skins game of gambling, and we're going to do that in the second hour. My good buddy, Chris Stewart from the Crimson Tide Sports Network will be here. Andrew Bone, who's going to give us an update on all of the recruiting. SEC broadcasting legend Max Howe will be here. And it is great to have this guy sitting next to me right here. I'm Mick Gillispie, the best in the business, the managing editor of the Alabama rival site, Bama Insider, an expert on the Crimson Tide. And for the first time, here we are at Innisfree hanging out. What's up, dude?
You know, so happy to be here. Friday night. We got the game tomorrow. It's an evening game. Look, if you're around in Tuscaloosa, you need to head to Bryant-Denny Stadium. You need to be a part of the action. You need to check out the sights, the sounds. And honestly, when Alabama, they put these stadium lights in at Bryant-Denny Stadium, best atmosphere in college football. I know it's Southern Miss. Don't mind that. Go watch the Alabama Crimson Tide. By the way, they won last week. If you missed that, right? They beat Florida. I know everyone's mad, and they want all the coaches fired besides Nick Saban. Look, Alabama's still rolling. They're going to get it together. I think they're like a 42-point favorite against Southern Miss. Southern Miss without their quarterback. We're going to dive all into it tonight on the Tailgate Show with Mick Gillispie.
Yeah, look, Bama's 3-0, and they're number one in the country. Southern Miss, this isn't the same Southern Miss team that beat Alabama at a game I was at in Birmingham, 21-0 in, the year 2000. They're 1-2 this year. They lost to Troy in South Alabama, and it's just not the same crew. Look, we're at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa, hanging out near the Strip. This remote is brought to you by Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. You've got the Screwball glasses on. We got all the swag here at Innisfree. Look at that T-shirts. That's a woman's smalls. I don't know if either one of us would fit in this. Now, for those of you that are watching on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, thumbs up and subscribe. You guys are watching. This is the behind the scenes of how a radio show is made. We do this before every single game on Friday, 6 to 8. Now, a lot of you are listening right now, 9 to 11 on our flagship station, Jocks 2, Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, all across the state of Alabama, saying hey to those up in the Shoals who are tuned in on Fox. And we are hanging here on the Strip, bringing you Tuscaloosa, putting it on your radio dial or on your television set.
Yeah, what's up, JG? I see you inside the comment box. And if you're listening on the radio, remember we got the post-game show following the game on YouTube. Just search Bama Insider. You can catch Mick Gillispie from the Westgate Sky Deck up there today on a walkthrough. Beautiful facility, no better place, closer to the action than Westgate Luxury Condos. Here at Industry, I mean, this is a great Friday night. Such a beautiful day. These last couple of days have been fantastic. It's really good to see the sunshine, and eager to talk about this Alabama team as they continue, what looks to be going into this game against Southern Miss. I think all the message board talk or whatever has been about Ole Miss, which is next week, and yes, I can't wait to talk about the game as well. But I think from this team's perspective, there's so much to dive into because what type of team do we have right now? Obviously they're undefeated. Obviously they're number one. But are there cracks on this team? Is it the offensive line? Is it the defense as a whole? Is it Bryce Young because he won't run the football? Is it something else? And we want to hear from you inside the comment box. Or if you're listening out on radio, we want to get your take as well. Go on over to BamaInsider.com.
Yeah, we'll be on after the game, and we're going to do that all season here in Tuscaloosa. But you're right, man. It feels like to a lot of people there's cracks in the armor.
Yeah.
Is there a hangover from this Alabama win at Florida? Nick Saban said something. He said sometimes you win the game, but you don't defeat your opponent.
Look,
I'm paraphrasing, Kyle.
No, I got you. I mean, the press conferences lately have been straight fire. I like to rate them in popcorns, right? So I give them like a popcorn emoji on 5 is my highest, and this week's popcorn emojis were 5 all across the board. Look, Saban has these guys. I think he's trying to figure out how to dial these guys in, and I think you also have to look to the fact that this is a youthful team, right? Look at the leaders on this team. Is it Bryce Young? Well, what grade is he in? He's a sophomore. What about William Anderson? He's a sophomore as well. So I think when you look to this team, where's the senior leadership? Is there senior leadership? Yes, I know there's Brian Robinson. I know there's Chris Owens. But I think it's a sophomoric team, and sophomoric means you're going to make mistakes. This team hasn't shown. I think this team is beatable, but who's going to beat them within the top 10 outside of Georgia? We've talked about that before. I have confidence in this team that they're going to be able to pull it together. I think it makes for a more interesting season. Last year, the team was such a buzzsaw. They ran through everybody with all the pros on the team, the future pros on the team. This year's team, we got to figure out, what's going to make this defense, who's going to step up, and which wide receiver is going to step up and be those big-time playmakers. Their playmakers are there. You just need to step up, and I think they're going to be dialed in. We got a taste of Jaleel Billingsley last week. That was a nice little splash in the third week of the season. So look, if you're out there and you have hesitations about this team or they're not, living up to your expectations, remember they're 3-0. They went to the Swamp. They came out with a victory, big time, spread against Southern Miss on Saturday.
Night football in Tuscaloosa, it's kind of exciting. I mean, when you get a night game, look, it's not Baton Rouge where they have this legendary night vibe, but it is fun when they have these night games.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, if you're in the vicinity, you definitely got to make your way to Bryant-Denny Stadium, be a part of the quad, be a part of the atmosphere, and, welcome back college football. There's no better place to be around than a college football venue. There's just something magical, something majestic about it. Yes, Baton Rouge is a fun place to go check out a game. I can't wait to go back to Baton Rouge and enjoy the oysters and the Cajun food and everything that revolves around that. But Bryant-Denny has something special planned for you. It's going to be a fantastic another venue at Bryant-Denny Stadium. The Tunnel of Champions. Can you imagine that they walk through a tunnel? All the recruits get to experience that, and of course, you get to watch the GOAT Nick Saban. Just being a part of that is almost enough.
Alabama plays Southern Miss. They've beaten them 7 straight, 37-5-2 over the years. I've been to at least 2 of the losses. I was there in Birmingham, and they lost 21-0. But this program's nothing like it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, look, what Coach Saban has done at Alabama is something I don't think we'll ever see again. I mean, he's simply the greatest coach in college football. What he has going on at Alabama is really something special to be a part of. But you can't overlook any type of opponents. And look, all the rat poison, that's a true testament. I mean, everybody's always looking to the next game, to the next national championship. No, it's about this next game against Southern Miss. There's no one more dialed in than Coach Saban when talking about Southern Miss. However, Southern Miss is missing their starting quarterback. And but they do have Frank Gore Jr. on their team. Remember the Frank Gore?
Yeah.
This is his son. He's the running back, and I think he's a spark plug of this team. But you got to think that Alabama, especially coming off that way. Look, I think the players felt that they need to kind of get back to the Alabama standard or whatever. But look, this team has to remember that they went down to the Swamp and won in one of the toughest environments. We had one of your buddies before the show was coming up and said that his ears hurt for like a couple days after because he said the swamp was so loud, and you get that. I mean, so I was eager to see. I felt that Alabama would boat race them, to be honest, but I was also really encouraged that they faced adversity, they came back, and they showed that they can win on the road. Very important early on in the season.
The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort and Casino in Choctaw. Now's a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge and Sports Book. Bryce Young is now a contender for the Heisman. What are his chances? Next week could be a showdown with the other guy that everyone's talking about, Matt Corral. We look ahead and we come back. Hey, and if you're watching on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, we debut the Innisfree cam. That's going on right now as well as we hang out from Innisfree here in Tuscaloosa. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yingling Traditional Lager, the beer for drinkers who know how to soar higher and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. Liftoff. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So go for glory. Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Thinking about trading or selling your current vehicle? Make sure you get more. Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. It's been an amazing year, and to keep it going, we need your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours, and we'll pay you more for it. Trading or selling at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, get more. Corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
TuscaloosaHyundai.com. See dealer for vehicle value details.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
As the Tide embarks on their journey to the next title, celebrate with Daniel A. Moore's Tributes in Oil to the 2020 championship season. Unrivaled is Moore's commemoration of Alabama's national championship beatdown of the Buckeyes. And Heisman Heights portrays Devontae Smith's one-handed catch against LSU. Available individually or as a discounted championship season bundle. Visit DanielMooreArt.com or call 1-800-735-2787 to order your heirloom quality fine art print or canvas today.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
You can't spell Alabama without the Bama. And you can't spell Floribama without the Bama. That's not the only thing that Alabama football and the Floribama have in common. There's heritage and pride. And, of course, keeping the fans happy. For 57 years, this iconic honky-tonk on the Alabama state line has been keeping our customers happy with the utmost attention on customer service. Great food, live music 365 days a year, and more events than we have time to list. Get the info you need at Floribama.com. Make your plans to join us on the line.
The Great Smoky Mountains area has some of the best fall drives in the nation. One of the most interesting and beautiful of these can be found on the way to Bluff Mountain. This fall, the best view is yours on Sevierville's Bluff Mountain Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
With Kyle Henderson, I'm Mick Gillispie. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling is a 6th-generation company, and Cheryl Yuengling, who's part of the company's ownership, is a proud Alabama grad. There's a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles. Also try Flight. That's their low-carb, low-cal light lager. I've been drinking that one lately. We're hanging out with you at Innisfree here on the Strip. And our remote today is brought to you by Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. We got all the Yuengling and Screwball swag we're giving away as we hang out here. With Kyle Henderson, the managing editor of BamaInsider.com, I'm Mick Gillispie. And again, it is great to have all of you guys with us as we talk, whether it's on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, or if you're listening on our stations across Alabama, including our flagship station, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. You might be driving to the game and listening to this. We appreciate having you guys here on Jocks 2 Roll Tide. All right, Bryce Young's grades so far. Kyle, give me his grades on passing, running, and leadership.
Passing, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. What type of grades are those? I think a lot of people, they want to, critique every single thing about about Bryce Young and what he does from a schematic standpoint, which is fair. Quarterbacks are always going to be the people who are under the microscope, and I get it, following Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, and Mac Jones, by the way, all starters in the NFL. So, tough to live up to where the standard is now, even at the quarterback position for Alabama. With that said, I think Bryce Young has done a fantastic job orchestrating this offense under a new offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien. They call him OB. So I think the one thing that really stands out to me about Bryce Young is his poise and his patience and his ability to not make mistakes. We just mentioned sophomore. He's not playing sophomoric. I think that he does have playmakers on the outside. I think, we've all liked to see a little bit more explosive plays. We've talked about that a little bit this week. You look to the 2 big plays that this team has had, a 94-yard touchdown to Jamison Williams in the first game, Jaleel Billingsley with a 27-yard touchdown. There's someone inside the comment box that's saying he's not accurate. Maybe he doesn't have to be accurate, that sounds weird, but he's a playmaker. So his efficiency, I think, could certainly improve. I think his RPOs could certainly improve, but there's a lot more positives with Bryce Young than I expected to see going into the 4th game. This guy is a sophomore. He didn't have much playing time last year, but we saw him really flourish in the springtime. I have confidence in him until he starts making bad decisions. And look, I know you're out there, and he should have ran in that touchdown. That's all people can talk about. Look, but as soon as he starts running, the first thing you're going to say is he needs to start passing. So, look, let's just look at it as it is. 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, nothing to be upset about.
And I'd love to get into that more, but I want to ask you another question because I do agree with you. And the other thing, and maybe we'll talk about this later, is you don't want him to get hurt. But I want to talk about him as a Heisman contender. Look, Matt Corral is coming to town next week. Ole Miss is off. They're licking their chops. They see a wounded Alabama team. At least that's what it seems like with Lane Kiffin over there. Matt Corral now the odds-on favorite at this point to win the Heisman. But you know what? Bryce Young is up there.
You're serving in the rat poison, right? The game against Southern Miss, it doesn't even matter, right? We're going into the Ole Miss game against Matt Corral. Look, I think that Bryce Young and the Heisman, that'd be great. It's always fun to talk about those external factors that Saban always preaches against, but the Heisman Trophy is something that you always have to talk about. Matt Corral, certainly the best quarterback in the SEC. Lane Kiffin, what they've been able to do. Lane Kiffin cannot stop talking about Alabama. If Coach Nick Saban is the GOAT in terms of coaching, Lane Kiffin is the GOAT on social media. What he does on social media every single day, tweeting to Alabama and getting out to Alabama fans. Did you see that his license plate says rat poison?
Is that really his?
Probably. And people are like, well, he lives in Mississippi.
He tweeted it out.
He probably lives here, and he probably lives in Oxford. The guy's everywhere, and what he's been able to do on the field, we'll get to see. Alabama is I think a 17.5-point favorite in that game early on. I don't know, Heisman Trophy. If you want to talk about it in week 4, I think those are the 2 early front runners. But I'm not really too concerned with the Heisman play. I think the thing that I'm focused on, even against Southern Miss, is the continued play and performance of Bryce Young. And most importantly, you got to keep him upright. He's not the biggest guy. The tackle position, other than Evan Neal, I think is concerning, something that certainly needs to be addressed, because I think when Alabama does face a pass rush that can really get after Bryce Young, that's going to be concerning, because Chris Owens, and one of our callers brought this up recently, doesn't have the longest arms. He's more of a center. So when you have a tackle, you want them to have a really big wingspan. Alex Leatherwood, Evan Neal, they have those wingspans. Chris Owens, I get it. He's coming back for his extra senior season. He's probably a leader on the team, not a natural tackle.
Yeah, and Pro Football Focus, we had that on our site earlier this week, and a lot of those guys on the offensive line didn't grade out too well after last game. All right, let's talk about the running attack, right? We didn't see Trey Sanders. Roydell Williams, we didn't see him either last week. So are you expecting to see a heavy dose of those guys today?
I think the running game for me, it's a three-headed monster. I think that you have Brian Robinson, who's the bell cow of this team. I think he's averaging close to 70 yards per game. Then you have Jace McClellan. Those are the two running backs that played against Florida. And Nick Saban was asked about why Trey Sanders didn't play against Florida. And Saban said, look, I don't promise to play every single player in every single game. I get that. You got to play the best players. Trey Sanders, is he one of the best players? I mean, look, that's up to the coaches. When these players get opportunities, they have to continue to create value for themselves. You hear Coach Saban talking about that all the time. I think Trey Sanders has it in him. He is the third back on this team. I would assume that he gets rotation against Southern Miss. But then again, like Coach Saban says, how do you know the backups are going to get to play? We don't. So right. Brian Robinson, I think he's day-to-day from what we've heard. He suffered some sort of minor injury. So that means that Jace McClellan's number one, Trey Sanders number two. So maybe that's kind of what you're asking, if we're going to see more Trey Sanders. And I think when Trey Sanders does get opportunities, one thing that I really do like about him, same thing with Jace, is their ability to catch the ball so well out of the backfield. Guys that are sure-handed. So if Bryce Young needs to check down, if he needs to be a playmaker and get to those running backs, those guys can certainly do the job.
All right, last question of this segment. How's Nick Saban going to manage this game?
Perfectly. Right. Next question. No, look, I think that Saban has to, I think he's still looking for leaders. I think he's still looking for this team to put together a complete game. The game against Miami, they only played a half. Then they had Mercer. Then they had Florida, where they didn't complete a second half of that game. So if this team can string together 4 quarters of play, I think that's what Coach Saban is looking forward to. Most is taking care of every single play and certainly staying healthy, most importantly, because the big one is next week. And then the one after that, you got Ole Miss and Texas A&M as the next 2 games after Southern Miss. So stay healthy, play a complete 4 quarters, take care of business on the field, and get another W.
That's the game plan. Awesome hanging out with Kyle Henderson here at Innisfree on the Strip in Tuscaloosa, getting you ready for Alabama and Southern Miss, 6:30. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, and it's presented by Tuscaloosa Hyundai, the Elantra, the Sinatra, or an SUV like the Tucson. Tailgating doesn't get any better. Chris Stewart from the Crimson Tide Sports Network joins us next to talk Alabama. Don't go anywhere. The show rolls on, and we'll be back right after this.
Introducing Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Now available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Thinking about trading or selling your current vehicle? Make sure you get more. Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. It's been an amazing year, and to keep it going, we need your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours, and we'll pay you more for it. Trading or selling? At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, get more. Corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
TuscaloosaHyundai.com. See dealer for vehicle value details.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the Bama Insider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion, R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
The Great Smoky Mountains area has some of the best fall drives in the nation. One of the most interesting and beautiful of these can be found on the way to Bluff Mountain. This fall, the best view is yours on Sevierville's Bluff Mountain Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Welcome back on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We're getting ready for Alabama and Southern Miss. Alabama has actually lost some games to these guys in the past, believe it or not. One of the toughest non-conference teams that Alabama plays on a regular basis. But before we get there, let me remind you that as we hang out today from Innisfree in Tuscaloosa, the Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. And our remote today is presented by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. That's the original peanut butter whiskey. And my next guest, I'm going to have to get him a Screwball shot here coming up. And guys, yeah, thumbs up to Chris Stewart. He would love one. But, Chris, before we go there, let me tell you that this segment is presented by Hotel Indigo. And you go to Hotel Indigo, and let me play that for you. I'm going to mute that sound. There you go. That's the rooftop bar, Chris. That's where we can get one of those drinks. It's also the official stay home spot. It's the official home away from home for the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Right there on the Black Warrior River, as you can see. That's the rooftop bar. They have live music there. They have Yuengling. They have Screwball. They have everything you need for a good time. And again, when I'm in Tuscaloosa, that's where I hang out. That is my official hangout spot. And don't forget, too, if you live in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, you can also have group events there as well. And they do great catering for that. All right, Chris, let's get into this, man. First off, it is great to see you, brother. How you been?
Man, I'm great. I'd be better if we were at that rooftop bar at Hotel Indigo, but I'm really good otherwise. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, next time we're going to have to go there and hang out. It's kind of one of our spots. Look, let's get into the game last week. I mean, people have been in panic mode. Florida was down 21-3, and they lost by 2.
Yeah, you know, it's you and I go far enough back, and I apologize. I'm having a little, and it's on my end. I was having a little bit of a connection issue, and we'll fix that right there. But going back as long as you and I have, isn't it glorious that there's wailing and gnashing of teeth in a 2-point road win at the Swamp, the 11th ranked team in America? I mean, there are a lot of times where we've been on the other side of that, and we would have taken maybe a 7-point loss on the road and walked out celebrating the way Gator fans did Saturday night in Gainesville. It's amazing how things have turned and changed in the time that you and I have known each other. But yeah, it wasn't the best performance by any stretch, but despite the fact you lost 6 NFL first-round draft picks off of last year's team, you still won that game. And the reason they didn't lose the football game, Mick, is because they didn't turn the football over. They did a lot of other things poorly, but didn't turn it over a single time. Florida turned it over once, and that turnover may have been the difference in the way that game turned out.
He's Chris Stewart. You know him from Alabama football. He's on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, sidelines. He's in the booth everywhere you turn around. There's a little bit of Chris Stewart. Like and subscribe as you hang out with us. If you watch right now, or if you're watching right now on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, really glad to have you guys here. 60,000 plus now. Unbelievable growth, and it's because of you guys. And if you're listening on our flagship station, Jocks 2, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Roll Tide, and thanks for being here. Yeah, look, we do go way back, okay? Yeah. I guess I'm just not in panic mode that you won a football game and it was a tough game. Didn't that same thing happen last year in the SEC championship game? Didn't the same thing happen when Alabama played Ole Miss? But what's Alabama's next step now that they had a close call moving forward?
I think cleaning up stuff that allowed them to have that close game. I mean, let's not forget, it's 21-3, and you got a 1st and 10, and you get an intentional grounding penalty that puts you behind the sticks, and you don't do anything offensively the rest of the half. Those guys will get more consistent. They'll learn how to keep the foot on the pedal and work through that. That's what last year's team did. Last year's team would have had the 21-3 lead and would have taken that to 35-3 at intermission. Besides that, the failure to move the football after the first 3 touchdowns, the other issue I thought was a 4th down situation in not fourth. Well, yeah. The 4th down, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm getting things mixed up. 4th and 6 when it's 21-3, right? To start the second half. Gator fans are booing. It's 4th and 5, 4th and 6, and they get a first down, I guess, on a pass interference. Isn't that what allowed them to extend the drive and ultimately get the touchdown? Bama drives back, scores. Florida screws up and misplays the kickoff, and it rolls out of bounds inside the 1.
Yeah.
That's where they've got to start that drive. And you got 3rd and 10, and a kid goes for a pick rather than playing the ball the way he's supposed to. They get the first down. That becomes a 99-yard drive. If you get off the field on 4th and 6 and keep it at 21-3, or you get off the field on 3rd and 10 when they're backed up inside their 1 and you get a short field after that, either way, you're extending that lead to 4 scores or 3 scores again, and that's not a ball game down the stretch. Instead, you let a team with some talent at home and 80,000 plus behind them get into it, and there was a phenomenal atmosphere. You got to give credit where it's due. Everybody that I encountered down there, administrative, game management, as well as fans, were all awesome, loud, awesome environment. So tip of the hat to them in the way they handled everything that I was involved with and saw. But they're into it, and Alabama let them believe they could win and get to that song at the start of the 4th quarter, man, which was pretty cool as well. But he let that have relevance, and they built off that, to Florida's credit. Now, they're talking about rematching the SEC championship game. I still don't think they're good enough to get there. I think they shot their best shot on Saturday. I think Georgia will pop them, and I think it'll be Alabama-Georgia again in the SEC championship game. If Bama can clean up our mistakes and make sure that we don't hit a couple of pitfalls that could be there are teams on the schedule that if we play at the level we did Saturday in the second half, or really from the second quarter on offensively, and mistakes that were made in that second and third quarter on defense, that thing can go the wrong way against Ole Miss. It can go the wrong way Texas A&M, and maybe one or two others as well.
Alabama plays Southern Miss, right? This is the 45th time they've played. Alabama's lost to these guys 5 times. Now, they got a 7-game winning streak, but you talk about going back. I remember losing to these guys. I think I was at 2 different losses. There was one that they got shut out, and then there was another one. This is always kind of one of those games where you're like, they're going to grind it out. I don't know that Southern Miss has the squad and Alabama has the squad to play this one into a close game. But these guys are scrappy, man. And I know you're kind of in that same boat as me. You remember the times that Alabama lost to Southern Miss.
I'm older than you, man. I remember Reggie Collier beating Coach Bryant's team. And then wow. Reggie Collier winding up as a Birmingham Stallion in the USFL. I'm like, I can pull for this guy. He beat my team. I know he's my quarterback now, but he beat my team. So, that was the case. I broadcast a game at Legion Field. I was doing an old CSS broadcast with David Crane one night when Southern Miss beat Alabama. I think when Mike DeBose was coaching them. But here's what's happened with Southern Miss. The growth of the programs at the 1A level for Troy, but especially UAB and South Alabama, have over time eroded Southern Miss. Southern Miss used to be able to come in and get the guys that weren't quite good enough maybe to go to Alabama and Auburn, but were still really solid players. And there are a bunch in the state of Alabama. But Southern Miss can't win those battles anymore. Those kids that can play and can win are going to Troy, UAB, or South and staying in state. And that's really, really hurt that Southern Miss program. So they've got to think a good coach, a guy that can do a better job than they have more recently. But as evidenced by the first 3 weeks, they're starting at a tough spot.
And they'll take on Alabama, 6:30 kickoff. So a little bit of a night game for the Crimson Tide as they take on Southern Miss. And then I don't want to get you in trouble with Coach Saban. We're looking ahead to Ole Miss. I'm gonna hold off on that because I know you get to interview him and stuff. Let me ask you this: what's it like? Everybody says, "Hey, what's it like interviewing Nick Saban?" I don't know because I've never interviewed him, but you have. What's it like working with him on the different shows? You guys seem to have a good relationship, and then and probably with him that makes things easier because I don't think if he didn't like you, you would. I think everyone would know.
That's what I've been told. And I will tell you that he's never been anything but kind, gracious, especially with some health issues I've gone through the last 3 years. He and his wife both have reached out to my wife when I've been my sickest and have been great to me. And it's very much appreciated. But I'm just to be honest, there ain't a ton of small talk. There's hardly any when it comes to that show because of when we do it, how it plays out. I understand he's got other stuff to do and he's trying to move to the next thing and worn out by the time he gets to me. I'm worn out by the time it gets to me. So I know he is. I used to joke that when I did the post-game call-in show prior to his arrival, you got to have an off-season program. I don't care if you're a player or a broadcaster. Well, prior to his arrival, my preseason prep for the post-game call-in show was to rent myself out to children's birthday parties as a piñata and let people just whack on me, for an hour at a time. And that's what the post-game call-in show was like. Well, I go follow to get ready for the football season now and dealing with Coach Saban. I go hang around with the bomb squad unit at my local police department and see how they handle explosives. And it's the same approach. If you can get through the end of the day and nobody's lost a digit or a limb, it's a good day. And so that's how I feel about doing his TV show. It's you want to do a great job. That's just how that's the amazing thing about him is that anybody that is around him or program it, and I'm not doing an interview, I'm doing his TV show. It's his show. It ain't my show. It ain't a show. It's his show. And so I'm trying to do the best job I can possibly do. And I try to be prepared and make sure that I put it on a tee for him and get out of the way. I'm not going to win any journalistic awards for what I do with that program. My job is to get out of his way so that he can give his message to his fan base as easily as possible. And I hope I do a decent job with that.
No, you do a great job, and we all know and love Chris Stewart from the Crimson Tide Sports Network. And obviously he's talking about not the radio broadcast, but the TV show that he does when they break down plays and talk about the game with head coach Nick Saban. Chris, always great to see you, my friend.
You too, buddy. Appreciate you.
The Bama Insider Tailgate Show on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Guys, like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up as you hang out. Also, if you come by and say hi to us at Innisfree, Daniel Moore, New Life Art, they've given us some 8x10s of the catch that Tyrone Prothro made. They did a print of it, that amazing catch where he caught the ball behind the guy's helmet. Got some of those to give away. And don't forget to, if you like to play the odds, we got Jeff Cameron coming up later on with our odds segment, and that's brought to you by Pearl River Resort. When we come back, though, we're going to talk to Andrew Bone about recruiting. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up.
Yingling Traditional Lager. The beer for drinkers who know how to soar higher and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. Liftoff. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So go for glory. Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling is in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Thinking about trading or selling your current vehicle? Make sure you get more. Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. It's been an amazing year, and to keep it going, we need your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours, and we'll pay you more for it. Trading or selling at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, get more. Corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
TuscaloosaHyundai.com. See dealer for vehicle value details.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
As the Tide embarks on their journey to the next title, celebrate with Daniel A. Moore's Tributes in Oil to the 2020 championship season. Unrivaled is Moore's commemoration of Alabama's national championship beatdown of the Buckeyes. And Heisman Heights portrays Devontae Smith's one-handed catch against LSU. Available individually or as a discounted championship season bundle. Visit DanielMooreArt.com or call 1-800-735-2787 to order your heirloom quality fine art print or canvas today.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
You can't spell Alabama without the Bama. And you can't spell Floribama without the Bama. That's not the only thing that Alabama football and the Floribama have in common. There's heritage and pride. And, of course, keeping the fans happy. For 57 years, this iconic honky-tonk on the Alabama state line has been keeping our customers happy with the utmost attention on customer service. Great food, live music 365 days a year, and more events than we have time to list. Get the info you need at Floribama.com. Make your plans to join us on the line.
The Great Smoky Mountains area has some of the best fall drives in the nation. One of the most interesting and beautiful of these can be found on the way to Bluff Mountain. This fall, the best view is yours on Sevierville's Bluff Mountain Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Welcome back. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, previewing Alabama and Southern Miss. We do it before every single Crimson Tide game. If you are watching on Bama Insider, the YouTube channel, Alabama's rival site, do us a favor. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. 60,000 of you guys. I've been here with my show for 1 year, and it's doubled from 30,000 to 60,000, and it's not because of my show. It's because the channel's great. We're just a small part of it, and you guys are a huge part of it. It's all about you, and we appreciate you hanging out with us on the show. If you're listening right now, Jocks 2, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Roll Tide to you, maybe around the state of Alabama, we appreciate you guys as well, all of our affiliates for the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Our show's brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. Our good friend Cheryl Yuengling went to Alabama. She was there with us. She puts a little bit of Crimson Love in every one of those green bottles. It's America's oldest brewery, and it's the only beer you need for your tailgate today. And our promotion, hanging out at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa, is presented by Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. We're going to do a shot of Screwball before we get out of here today. Now our next guest is Andrew Bone, and Bone's visit is presented by Sevierville, Tennessee.
The best view is yours on Sevierville's Bluff Mountain Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Yep, it's that time of year to start thinking about what you're going to do for the holidays, and there's not a better place to go than Sevierville for the Christmas season. They've got opportunities out there for anything in the great outdoors, from hiking in the national park to enjoying walking trails, zip-lining adventures, and horseback riding. They have great lodging options, including hotels, cabin rentals, and campgrounds. And I'll tell you what, I love going up there around the Christmas season. We get a cabin and we do the whole Christmas thing, the lights and everything. It's just fantastic. All right, Andrew Bone, let's talk recruiting. Crimson Tide coming off of a very tight win over Miami, building momentum as we get towards signing day, or really announcement day for a lot of these guys. And there are some guys who have some decisions upcoming. Jaleel Skinner's one of those guys. Elijah Pritchard's going to announce. What do you got on these fellas?
Well, I think Alabama had a close win over Florida, not Miami there, Mick.
That's right. Wrong Florida team. Alabama had a close win over Florida. They destroyed Miami.
Yeah. It's kind of weird playing two teams from the state of Florida in your first three games of the season, but we'll let that one slide. But yeah, I mean, as Alabama fans know, you're always wondering who's going to be that next commitment for the Crimson Tide. Currently sitting with 14 commitments, and you never know when some kids may decide to just pop. Because it can happen at any moment. Kids don't always have to have commitment dates or announce something on via Twitter or on ESPN or anything like that. They can just pop in, announce it, and it's done. Without us really even knowing when they're going to announce. So, as far as kids that have scheduled announcements right now, there's two guys that we're watching very closely over the next few weeks. The first one's going to be Elijah Pritchard. 4-star offensive tackle from Carver High School in Columbus, Georgia, has been a priority target for Alabama for a long time. This is a big kid, 6'7", right at about 300 pounds. Certainly somebody that Alabama targeted very early on and has recruited and considered one of its key pieces on this offense, to this offensive line class. It's not a great offensive line class last year, but this year certainly another big year for them. They got 2 offensive line commitments in Dane Shore and also Tyler Booker, but getting at least 1 or 2 more is very important for Alabama. So Elijah Pritchard going to be announcing his decision on Tuesday, September the 28th. It's between Alabama, USC, Georgia, and Florida State. Now, in my opinion, it's more of a recruiting battle between Alabama and Florida State. And I think with Florida State's season, being 0-3, We'll see how their game goes today. But I just think that Alabama has really kind of surged ahead in the recruitment for him, even though I felt like they were in the driver's seat beforehand. Of course, I'm sure Florida State over the course of the next few days is certainly going to be telling them how much they can use him and how much he's needed, and just look at the performance on the field, and he can potentially come in and play immediately. But Alabama, certainly in a great spot as well for him, and I think in the end, I think Elijah Pritchett ends up at Alabama. Second one is Jaleel Skinner. He's a really talented athlete, tight end out of IMG Academy, originally from Greer, South Carolina. Now, it's kind of gone back and forth with him over the course of the last few months. It has the top 5: Alabama, Miami, Florida State, Texas, and Clemson. But I really think it's down to 3 schools. I would say it's Alabama, Texas, and Miami. I don't think he's going to end up going to Clemson. I think Florida State's out of the mix. So between those 3 schools, and as of right now, I'm kind of leaning towards Alabama. That would be my prediction for Jaleel Skinner, even though Alabama has a few other, I don't want to say two tight ends, but they do have one tight end commitment in Elijah Brown. And then they have another outstanding athlete, wide receiver / tight end, and Amari Neblock, who is 6'4", 228 pounds. And no, he wants to be a wide receiver in college, but could potentially grow into a tight end once he gets to Tuscaloosa. So we'll have to wait and see. But Jaleel Skinner, a little bit light on the lighter side. He's about 6'4", 6'5", about 215 pounds, but can run. Very athletic. He's got great hands. You can spread him on the outside. He can be a mismatch coming out of the slot. This is definitely somebody that's a big time receiving threat. Visited Alabama back in the summer, and I think Alabama's got a great chance with him. I think they've really kind of turned up the heat with Jaleel Skinner over the course of the last few months. And as of right now, I like Alabama's chances with Jaleel Skinner. So that could be 2 big commitments for Alabama over the course of the next 3 weeks. So we'll see how it all unfolds, and we'll see if there's any other guys that decide to announce commitment dates and go ahead and make decisions. But those would be 2 big ones for Alabama.
He's Andrew Bone. He's the recruiting guru of the Bama Insider site, the Alabama rival site, and he's been on our show for years doing this. That's how we know he's the best in the business. All right, Bone, quickly, any big-time recruits that'll be visiting Alabama this weekend? And then when we finish up that, I got something very important to ask you before you get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously just Southern Miss. We're going to see a lot of top recruits in Tuscaloosa for the Ole Miss game next weekend, but there's still some top guys that are going to be in Tuscaloosa on Saturday, including Jaden Wayne, who's the number 12 overall player in that 2023 recruiting class. Elite defensive end from the state of Washington, so coming all the way from Washington State to Tuscaloosa. This is his second visit to Alabama, so I think Alabama's got a great chance with him. Also, A.J. Harris, the number 1 cornerback in the 2023 recruiting class, is going to be in town. He's at a Glenwood school in Phoenix City, Alabama. Now, this is a big visit for him. This is the second time he's visited Alabama over the course of the last few months. Certainly a priority target for Alabama. Another top recruit in that 2023 class that's going to be making his trip to Tuscaloosa is Tony Mitchell out of Thompson High School. Also one of the top defensive backs in the country, rated the number 23 overall player in the 2023 recruiting class. You're going to see some other commitments in town this weekend. Jeremiah Alexander, Emmanuel Henderson. I know Ty Simpson's trying to get down there, but may not be able to make it. Antonio Kite out of Anniston High School also going to be in town. We're going to have a complete list of all the visitors and the updates from the weekend on BamaInsider.com.
All right, Bone. Well, first, before I get into what I was going to talk about before, I just want to remind everyone that here at the Floribama, this is the New Life Art picture of Tyrone Prothrow's amazing catch against Southern Miss. We're giving these 8x10s away today. It's called The Catch, Alabama's 30-21 victory, September 10th, 2005. Bone, I know you were at that game.
I was. There's a lot of really good Daniel Moores out there that I've been to a lot of those games.
All right, and this is the other thing we got to talk about. BoneHomeTours.com. Your visit on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show is presented by Andrew J. Bone Real Estate Group, LLC. Tell us about this guy right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Part of my side job is I am a real estate broker in the state of Alabama, and we do a lot of stuff in the Tuscaloosa and Birmingham markets. I live in Homewood, Alabama, but we also do a lot of stuff down in Tuscaloosa. Obviously, we've got our office down in T-Town. So if you're looking for a condo, game day place, or just looking for a house, or wanting to sell a house, looking for a rental property, give us a call. 205-531-5577. If you're in the Birmingham market, give me a call. We do all over Birmingham. We also hit up, several of the surrounding lakes, including Lake Mitchell, Smith Lake. And, so we're kind of all over the place. So hit us up, and we'd be more than happy to help you with any of your real estate needs.
Andrew Bone, thank you. And we appreciate it, man. Let's do it again next week when Alabama takes on Ole Miss.
Sounds great, Mick. Thank you very much.
All right, that's Andrew Bone from BamaInsider.com. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show rolls on. Second hour coming up. We got a great second hour for you, including a visit from Jeff Cameron from the College Sports Book. We're going to talk about the lines of some of the big games around college football today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yingling Traditional Lager. The beer for drinkers who know how to soar higher and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. Liftoff. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So go for glory. Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Thinking about trading or selling your current vehicle? Make sure you get more. Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. It's been an amazing year, and to keep it going, we need your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours, and we'll pay you more for it. Trading or selling at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, get more. Corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
TuscaloosaHyundai.com. See dealer for vehicle value details.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the Bama Insider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
The Great Smoky Mountains area has some of the best fall drives in the nation. One of the most interesting and beautiful of these can be found on the way to Bluff Mountain. This fall, the best view is yours on Sevierville's Bluff Mountain Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Welcome back on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. This is the second hour of the show brought to you by Yuengling Loggers. We hang out with you tonight from Innisfree here in Tuscaloosa. We've been talking Alabama and Southern Miss, kickoff at 6:30, and Kyle Henderson joins in person. Our remote today brought to you by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Look at that, Kyle. You going to wear that thing?
Yeah, I was thinking about putting a bandana on this Screwball, but I did have the sunglasses earlier. Sound off in the comment box. Should I keep the shades on during the show? I'd like to get your feedback. I do like the show because we do have like lights and stuff like this. You should see the setup that Mick Gillispie has back here. I told him before that he might blow up Innisfree. I mean, these cords are like connected. I'm back here. He MacGyvered a couple things, but hey, thank you very much for watching. We sincerely appreciate you. If you're listening out there, remember that the post-game call-in show is after the game. Just go to YouTube, search Bama Insider.
Yeah, we got the swag. We got some Yuengling swag, and if you're looking for a home, look, we've even got some Andrew Bone cards. And these from New Life Art, we've been handing these out as well, Kyle, because it's Alabama and Southern Miss, right?
Yeah.
And this is Alabama's opportunity to kind of get that next step towards Ole Miss. And I know, look, it's rat poison. I'm throwing the rat poison out there. Next week's game could be colossal. I already feel, even though Alabama's going to be like a 17-point favorite, I already feel like there is just so much hype surrounding this game that isn't even going to happen until next week.
I mean, yeah, everybody's always looking to the next game. Everybody's always, looking to the player that doesn't play and wondering why they don't play. I see in the comment box, they're like, put in Ajay Hall, put in Trey Sanders. Worry about the players that are on the field and make sure that they're staying healthy, most importantly. And I think that, when you look to the game, I guess, if you really want to talk about the game next week, I guess we can. I mean, Alabama, a 17.5-point favorite, a little surprising to me, considering kind of the potency that Ole Miss has. And look, Matt Corral, I think, is very dangerous. I think he's the best quarterback not only in the SEC, some probably say in the country. I mean, what he was able to do last year against Alabama, we all certainly remember that when Alabama and Ole Miss had a wild shootout, and I don't think that's going to be the last shootout that those two teams have. Lane Kiffin, all he can talk about is Alabama. There's a reason, because he believes in himself. He believes in his quarterback. He believes that he can come in and beat Alabama straight up. I think that this Alabama team has holes around it. I think that this team is beatable. Who's going to beat them? I think, that's the biggest question when we kind of try to figure out the rest of the landscape of college football. But until then, look, Alabama's at the top of the college football mountain. This team hasn't put together a complete game yet. And I think once they do, they're going to be unbeatable again. I think they have enough talent on the defensive side of the ball. I think that Bryce Young is capable to lead this team to the promised land once again as a sophomore. Tough task to do, tough shoes to follow. Mac Jones, Tua, and Jalen Hurts. But Bryce Young, that young man right now. Remember, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, not that bad.
No, that's actually really good. I mean, look, he's someone that we're all talking about for the Heisman, and that's because it's coming out of Vegas. But, what I was going to say first is if you're hanging out with us on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Second thing is if you're listening to our show on radio, we do it before every single Alabama game on Jocks 2, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. Those of you that are coming to Tuscaloosa today, thank you for tuning in. This is the only show that you need to hang out and get you ready for a big day of tailgating. And that's what we do. We talk about tailgating. So, all right. There's been all of this disappointment going into the game this week, and it really comes down to the fact that Alabama struggled last week. The defense obviously had some trouble. I mean, like the linebackers were missing assignments. They're backing up on run plays. They didn't grade out very good on the Pro Football Focus. A guy I love, having trouble, how quickly can they make adjustments on this? I mean, William Anderson was hurt, and he still played a great game.
I mean, let's not discount Florida, though. I mean, I think that Dan Mullen is one of the best coaches in the SEC, especially on the offensive side. I'm surprised that they were able to keep it close to Alabama, considering that Emory Jones just isn't a quality quarterback, in my opinion. They didn't even play their best quarterback. So who's to say that these two teams won't meet again down the road in the SEC championship? I think that if Anthony Richardson is healthy, who knows? Maybe Alabama doesn't survive the swamp. So let's not discount what Florida was able to do. Regarding Alabama's defense, everybody's pointing the finger at Pete Golding. Look, he's a defensive coordinator, but let's not forget that Coach Saban is a defensive-minded coach. With that said, those guys can't be out there tackling the opposition. They can't be the ones that are getting the pass interference calls. So you kind of look to the mistakes that Alabama has made. There's been a lot of penalties within these first 3 games. They haven't played a complete 4 quarters like I keep mentioning. But I think on the defensive side, you look to the interior linebackers, Christian Harris, Henry To'oTo'o. The first game, everyone's like, yes, Henry To'o is the savior of the defense. And now after this game, they're like, play Jalen Moody. Maybe he's the one. So I think when we kind of look at this defense, let's at least look at the first 4 games, the first 5 games before you really start making assumptions about, maybe this player is not the right person or it's this coach or that. And look, I get it. Look, everyone wants to point the finger at Pete Golding. You have a bad day at work, Pete Golding. It rains, Pete Golding. But look, this is a team sport. That's why I play team sports. Pete Golding is not the only one to point fingers at. You could point to the offense as well. I mean, they didn't even score a touchdown in that second half against Florida, right? So I haven't seen a lot of people calling out Bill O'Brien. This is a team sport. This team has to put together 4 quarters of play if they want to go win another natty.
Well, you just brought up a good point. They didn't score a touchdown in the second half. Does that worry you at all?
I mean, not really, because, I know what this team is capable of. I know that it's challenging to play on the road against, a top 10 team or a top 11 team, whatever. So, no, not necessarily. It will be concerning if they only score 10 points against Southern Miss, but that's not going to be the case. So I look at it kind of game by game. I'm more rational, and kind of look at it from an overall statistic standpoint. What I don't like is that right now the opposition is outrushing Alabama. I think it's like 480 to 450, which we're not accustomed to seeing, especially in these first 3 games. But then again, I keep saying don't discredit Florida. I don't think, Saban is discrediting them. And I think the one person, and when you're out there and you're pointing fingers at Golding or whatever, the biggest fan of Golding is Coach Saban. Otherwise, guess where Coach Golding would be?
Yep, Texas,
someplace else.
Right.
So, Coach Saban has a pulse. They are on the defense, most importantly, because he's a defensive-minded coach. Alabama has the athletes, of course. And I know that, Shane Beamer of South Carolina was talking about Georgia and all the, 5 stars that they have on defense or whatever. Alabama has those same guys. It's a very experienced defense. I still believe in this defense. I think they'll be able to put it together. Ole Miss is going to be certainly a challenge, but, let's focus on this first game against Southern Miss.
Alabama, Southern Miss, 6:30 as we preview that here on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. And it is great to have all of you guys with us as we talk to you from Innisfree and Tuscaloosa. The remote brought to you by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. And we're hanging out and talking football. All right. Looking at where this team is right now, Nick Saban said that the defense was gassed last week and that some new guys were going to play, Kyle. He said that they were going to have to play some more guys. Who do you think that is?
On the defensive side on the ball, I guess, we can continue to track Drew Sanders. I mean, Drew Sanders, the outside linebacker who's starting in place of Chris Allen, so we're going to continue to see him. Maybe we see some rotation within the secondary at the corner position. Look for Kool-Aid, JaQuincy McKinstry. Oh, yeah. Coming in. And then
I grew up on Kool-Aid.
Yeah, everybody loves Kool-Aid, of course.
That's why I was so sugared up all the time.
Yeah, I mean, too bad because Tua could have had, like, the Hawaiian, right?
Oh, yeah,
he could have had that going on. But, you look to other players that maybe get rotation. I mean, maybe, I guess, Jalen Moody at the inside linebacker position. I think that Alabama has a lot of depth within the defensive line. So you look at guys like Tim Smith, guys like DJ Dale to continue to rotate. I like Justin Ebogbe. Still really, trying to figure out where LeBron Ray is. I mean, LeBron Ray has been we keep searching for him. The Great Pumpkin. We're all waiting for LeBron Ray to show up. But I don't know. Maybe he's not healthy. I have no idea. So guys like that I think we continue to track for those secondary players. But as a unit, let's see what they can do in the first half. Let's see how they can stop Frank Gore Jr. And Southern Miss's backup quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt. And that'll be a 6:30 game. And then after that, it's all hype when we do the post-game show. I can imagine that there's going to be a lot of talk about Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss.
Yeah, people are excited about next week. Everyone's excited about the next game, and rightfully so. So definitely call into the post-game show. Go to YouTube after the game. Search BamaInsider.com. We'll be coming to you from the Westgate Luxury Sky Deck.
I can't wait. I was up there today kind of eyeing it up, and it looks like an awesome place to watch football and hang out. There's a bunch of TVs up there, and then you're like on the level of the upper deck, you know. So it's like I feel like if you were like Spider-Man, you could just shoot right across to Bryant-Denny and get in free. This segment was brought to you by R&R Cigars. They invite you to come downtown to the Cigar Mansion in Tuscaloosa or their new location in Northport. They've got 2 locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. Best cigar selection and bourbon selection in the Southeast awaits you. R&R is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R Cigar and get a cigar and a Yingling for just $10 when you tell them Mick sent you. That's 2703 6th Street, Tuscaloosa, downtown near Home to Suites, or over in Northport by the Winn-Dixie. The cigarmansion.com is their website. 2 locations, Tuscaloosa and Northport, and we appreciate them for being part of our show. All right, Kyle, look, when we come back, it's going to be Jeff Cameron versus Mick Gillispie. College Sportsbooks Jeff Cameron against College Sportsbooks Mick Gillispie in a battle to see who can pick the games best throughout the season for the championship belt. You were part of that last year.
Let's see.
You know it's a belt.
Let's see what goes down.
All right, we're going to have that when we come back. It's become one of my favorite segments. Jeff Cameron is really an entertaining guy. So we're going to have that when we return, and we're going to talk more from Innisfree here in Tuscaloosa. So don't go anywhere. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up.
Yingling Traditional Lager, the beer for drinkers who know how to soar higher and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. Liftoff. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So go for glory. Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Thinking about trading or selling your current vehicle? Make sure you get more. Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. It's been an amazing year, and to keep it going, we need your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours, and we'll pay you more for it. Trading or selling at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, get more. Corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
TuscaloosaHyundai.com. See dealer for vehicle value details.
As the Tide embarks on their journey to the next title, celebrate with Daniel A. Moore's Tributes in Oil to the 2020 championship season. Unrivaled is Moore's commemoration of Alabama's national championship beatdown of the Buckeyes. And Heisman Heights portrays Devontae Smith's one-handed catch against LSU. Available individually or as a discounted championship season bundle. Visit DanielMooreArt.com or call 1-800-735-2787 to order your heirloom quality fine art print or canvas today.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
You can't spell Alabama without the Bama. And you can't spell Floribama without the Bama. That's not the only thing that Alabama football and the Floribama have in common. There's heritage and pride. And of course, keeping the fans happy. For 57 years, this iconic honky-tonk on the Alabama state line has been keeping our customers happy with the utmost attention on customer service. Great food, live music 365 days a year, and more events than we have time to list. Get the info you need at floribama.com. Make your plans to join us on the line.
The Great Smoky Mountains area has some of the best fall drives in the nation. One of the most interesting and beautiful of these can be found on the way to Bluff Mountain. This fall, the best view is yours on Sevierville's Bluff Mountain Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. As you hang out, and maybe you're watching on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, 60,000 plus subscribers. Thank you guys. Like and subscribe. And if you're listening on radio, including our flagship station, Jocks 2, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, welcome to Tuscaloosa on game day. Alabama and Southern Miss, 6:30 tonight, and we're getting you ready. This is your tailgate show. Before we talk to Jeff Cameron, let me remind you that this odd segment is brought to you by Pearl River Resort, right over there in Choctaw, Mississippi.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
That's right. We're here to play. And Jeff Cameron from the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 in Tallahassee. You might know him from Sirius XM Radio, from warchant.com, and you might know him from the College Sports Book. He's like the James Brown of broadcasting. You just do everything, man. You got all these different jobs. But the one that we want to talk to you about today, Jeff, let's pick some games, my friend. How you doing?
Let's pick some games. I'm great, brother. It's great to be with you. It's always fun to do this. I hope everybody's having a happy game day and enjoying each other's company and getting ready to watch some good football. Yeah, no, I'm in a great mood. Let's do this thing.
All right, we're talking to you from Innisfree in Tuscaloosa on the Strip. Our show's brought to you by Yuengling Lager. And this remote today is presented by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. So, Jeff, you and I soon are going to get together and we'll do a shot of Screwball. Or maybe we'll do like an Elvis. You like Elvis. The Elvis drink, little banana, little peanut butter whiskey.
I would do both. That's fine. We can do both. Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll all of it. Yes.
Yeah. Do all of it. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about last week. Good week for me. I was 3-1. You were 1-3. I took West Virginia, BYU. My lock was Cincinnati. That hit. I lost on Penn State and Auburn. You took Penn State. You lost with Virginia Tech and Arizona State. And then Bama, which was a big surprise that they didn't cover.
Bama not only didn't cover, they damn near lost the game. They were thoroughly outplayed in the second half. That was something to behold. But probably the wake-up call that Nick Saban wants to use to motivate his team. See, this is what can happen, guys, when we're not buttoned up on defense and we don't stop the run. So, we'll see. But it was a hell of a game, a lot of fun. It stinks to narrowly lose to you last week, Mick, because Virginia Tech has the ball on the 4-yard line to end the game. That was a toughie. But, hey, that's the world of gambling.
No doubt. And I agree, man. I mean, look, they definitely bounced my way last week except for the Auburn-Penn State game. But I felt like that one was just like the Virginia Tech-West Virginia game. Could have gone either way, right? Right now, the season total looks like this: 7-5 record for me, 5-7 record for you. So let's get started with this week. I'm going to let you go first, or did you go? Is it my turn to go first?
It's
my turn to go first. Yeah. Okay, my turn to go first this week. And I'm going to start with Notre Dame versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin's given up 6.5, Jeff, in this game, which is crazy because Notre Dame is undefeated and they're the higher-ranked team. But we know that the Badgers are really good on defense. They have that linebacker core score. They're allowing just 66 yards per game. That's in 2 games. They're number 2 nationally in total defense. And their defense gets off the field in a hurry. You got Graham Mertz as quarterback. Look, man, he's not good when he's under pressure. We saw that in the Penn State game. But the reason they lost to Penn State is because of turnovers, right? Wisconsin last week, now remember, they played Eastern Michigan. I don't even know who Eastern Michigan is, but they did cover a big 26-point spread. And the Badgers held Eastern Michigan to just 92 total yards. Now, with Notre Dame coming in, right, they've won 3 straight games, but they could have lost all 3 of those games, right? Purdue, their last game was probably their most comfortable win. They barely got out of Tallahassee with a win, and we know who Florida State is now. They struggled against Tulsa, right? Was it Tulsa? Yeah. And then now they're nationally ranked, and they're a team that was in playoffs last year. But they were favored by 7 and a 16.5 point spread respectively against Florida State and Toledo. They didn't cover in either one of those games. They did cover against Purdue, right? A 7.5 point spread, and they won that one 27-13. And their quarterback is a former Badger, right? Jack Cohen. This game's being played in Chicago, and I know a lot about Chicago. I spend a lot of time there, and I can tell you that when I wear an Alabama hat, or if I'm wearing any college football hat, normally Alabama, people come up to me and they start talking about Notre Dame, right? They don't talk about Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin will have some fans there, but this is going to be a Notre Dame home game, even though Wisconsin is technically the home team at Soldier Field for this game. 6.5. I know Notre Dame's going to lose. It could happen this week, but I can't give up 6.5 points to Wisconsin. Their offense just isn't good enough for me to feel comfortable there. So I'm going to take Notre Dame, and I'm just going to say that Jack Cohen isn't that good. Is good enough to beat his old team. He can throw the ball over him. I think they'll win this game, or at least they'll cover.
Yeah, this is about the cover, because I don't think we feel comfortable with either team. And I will say this. Wisconsin's going to run the ball. They've got a 3-headed monster at running back. They've got a very good offensive line. They're going to try to run right at Notre Dame. There's not a lot of trickery with these two teams. Notre Dame's been in flux on the offensive line. I saw a stat the other day that Notre Dame's been in short yardage situations, 3rd or 4th and short. That's defined as 3 yards or less, Mick. 15 times this year. 11 of the 15 times they've passed the ball. That is totally opposite of what they did a year ago. So that tells you they don't trust short yardage situations. This should be a fun game. Soldier Field, cool weather, sort of a slobber knocker. I understand the point spread and why you're going to take Notre Dame getting those points, but I think Wisconsin wears them down and runs the ball and wins by a touchdown. Give me Wisconsin in this game. I'll be on the other side of the ledger than you here.
All right, well, let's go to the second matchup. I'm going to let you go first. Texas A&M against Arkansas. And so far, we're going head-to-head, one matchup, and we've both picked the other team.
It's a fun game. I'll tell you what, the best unit on the field for this game will be Texas A&M's defensive line. That defensive line is one of the best in the country, and it saved their bacon when they played Colorado, who I know is not a real good team 2 weeks ago. But obviously you had the injury at quarterback, and so you bring in your backup, and he looks like he's saucer-eyed, not sure what to do. So Texas A&M had to get a lot of stops. They'll get a lot of stops here too, but Arkansas under Coach Pittman has been really one of the better stories in college football. Arkansas feels like a live dog to me this week. Give me those points at home with Arkansas. Well, it's actually at Jerry's World, isn't it, in Texas? Give me those points, though. I'll take Arkansas. This might be a sentimental pick from me. I'm probably not going to bet this in my real life, but give me Arkansas.
Look, it's hard to argue there. 5.5 with this Texas A&M team. Arkansas has been one of the most improved teams in college football. Sam Pittman, their head coach, has them blocking and tackling. I mean, that's the fundamentals of football, right? They ripped off 333 yards when they beat Texas. Now, that was a home game. This one is in Jerry's World, right? In Dallas or Fort Worth or whatever. But their running game has come a long way. KJ Jefferson is their quarterback. He's a top playmaker. He's been so good, and that kind of complements Traylon Smith, who scored 3 touchdowns this year and has gone over 216 yards in their 3 wins. They just look like a really good fundamental team. Now, they've lost 9 straight to Texas A&M in this series, but all those games have been shootouts. I don't think this one's going to be a shootout. Texas A&M has struggled. They put up 85 points and only 17 combined over they've 17 combined per game over their last 3 games, right? They're struggling to score points. And I really felt like at the beginning of the season, when you looked at them, you said, okay, quarterback Hayes King was going to be the guy. He gets hurt. Now we're looking at Zach Calzada. What's he going to be able to do? Yeah, they covered 28-point spread against New Mexico last week. But I kind of feel like you. This almost feels like Arkansas is a home dog. They're not at home. I mean, this game's in Dallas, right? But Arkansas showed us against Texas that they're going to treat this as a rivalry game. I think Texas A&M is going to win this football game. I'm so torn. I'm like right here. Texas A&M is just going to be better up front, and I'm convinced that Arkansas is turning the corner. But I think this is the game where Texas A&M comes out and flexes on them. Even though I feel like you're making a good choice there, I wouldn't probably bet this in my real life.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take Texas A&M just because I like their defense so much. All right.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
I was just going to tell you, Mick, I mean, this is what's fun about this, right? And I would tell people out there, if you're a recreational gambler, listen, pick games that you feel, don't pick a game just to pick a game. Mick and I are having a fun contest together. But we both just told you we're not betting that game because that game just says run away from me. Just run away from me. We're betting against each other, and that's fun. But find the games where you have conviction. Find some games where you go, oh, I know a lot about this one, and I feel good about it. This is one of those ones where, I can't wait to watch the game. But, yeah, that's just a side note of advice there.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell everyone that's listening right now, Jeff Cameron knows his stuff. You recognize him from the College Sportsbook, and if you haven't checked it out, you need to go to YouTube and watch the College Sportsbook channel. Jeff's on there, and he previews games every week. He's been doing it for a long, long time. And if you're hanging out with us on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, like and subscribe. I'm Mick Gillispie. Also, for those that are listening on radio on our flagship station, Birmingham Tuscaloosa Jocks 2, or maybe you're listening up on Fox Sports Shoals in North Alabama. Roll Tide, everybody. Thanks for being here. All right, this is a game, Jeff, that I feel like you're going to have conviction on. I got a feeling that you would bet this one. Clemson is giving up 10 at NC State.
Yeah, I'm back and forth on it. Clemson's offense has been terrible. NC State let you and I both down with the game against Mississippi State just when I was on them at the start of the year. That's a lot of points for a Clemson team who hasn't been able to score. Give me NC State getting the points here.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is one of those games where you look at Dabo Swinney and you kind of feel like at some point, maybe they'll be able to circle the wagons. I mean, it's not a lost season. They've only they lost on the pick 6 against Georgia, right? Who's maybe the best team in the country right now, them and Alabama. But the defense is outstanding and deep, but they did lose their defensive tackle, Tyler Davis, to a torn bicep. He's a difference maker. They had another guy transfer. Their defense is holding their opponents down, but the problem is that they're not scoring. I really like the under in this game at 47.5. Now we got to pick a winner, right? And that's kind of the weird thing about what we do is that, if I'm really betting this, I'm going, okay, I don't think NC State, they only scored 3 points against Mississippi State. I think they're going to have tough sledding against Clemson, but 10 points is a lot. I mean, if you can't beat Georgia Tech, then you're going to struggle against NC State with a veteran club, right? I like the idea of taking the under, but I'm going to take NC State. I love a home dog. How many times do I say that? Even when it's not a home dog, I just remind you all the time, look, I like a home dog. NC State has covered the spread twice this season already. NC State games have gone for the total, only 1 out of 3, which gives me kind of that under feel to this matchup. And they're not scoring a lot of points, but they're not giving up a lot of points. So I'm going to take NC State in the 10. Is that what you're doing too?
That's what I did as well. Yeah. So we have 2 different, and then we're both locked in on NC State for this game.
All right. Let me go with my lock of the week. I don't think you're going to have this lock of the week.
I don't think so.
I'm going to tell you a tidbit on this lock of the week. My lock of the week is Maryland minus 14.5 against Kent State. Maryland's 3-0 right now. They've covered the spread twice. The Terrapins have been favored by 14.5 points once this season, and they covered that spread, right? The Terrapins score a lot of points with Talia Tungavailoa, Tua's brother at quarterback, Mike Locksley, the former Alabama offensive coordinator, leading the way. They're averaging 517 yards per game, right? That's almost 85 more yards than the Golden Flashes. Maryland this year is 2-1 against the spread, and they score a lot of points. Kent State comes in from the MAC. They're winless against the spread. There's nothing about them that you look at and go, okay, yeah, Maryland's going to have trouble with them. The weird thing I'm going to tell you is that I think Maryland's going to cover this, and I don't even think it's going to be that difficult, is that after this game, Maryland will be 4-0, and they could lose every single game the rest of the season, and I would not be surprised if they did. Remember me saying that.
Okay, I like it. So jump on them now is what you're saying.
I'm saying right now.
I'm going to take Kentucky. I've liked this Kentucky team this year. They're giving 5.5 to South Carolina. Double check that line for me, Mick. It may have moved, but it was 5 when I got it earlier in the week. I like Kentucky. You know what they did, and this was smart. Remember, Kentucky played defense. They could run the ball, but they couldn't throw it to save their life. They brought in Liam Cohen, and he came over from the Rams, and he had been obviously on a staff that could move the ball. And anytime you're working for a very good offensive mind and you're in charge of the passing attack, I was interested to see what that would look like. And Kentucky's been able to throw the ball down the field. Will Levis came in from Penn State at quarterback. He's done a good job. Give me Kentucky here. They've covered for me every time I've gone with them this year. I'll take them here. I'm not big on that South Carolina team who was just on the wrong end of a colossal ass kicking. So I'm going to go ahead and take Kentucky and lay the 5.5 here.
Yeah, South Carolina stinks. Let's just go ahead and throw that out there. Is Graham Doty going to be their quarterback this week? They're talking about throwing a guy to the Lions, right? I mean, Kentucky was looking ahead last week when they played Chattanooga,
Georgia?
and that's like Chattanooga's like that. That's their Super Bowl when they play a team like Kentucky. I think they're going to bounce back big, and I'm with you. I think they're going to win by. That's a good lock right there. As a matter of fact, I may play that myself.
You're jealous about my lock. I see it.
I do like that. All right, let me throw this up here, Jeff. You're a golf guy. When you see a course like Dancing Rabbit at Pearl River Resort Casino, it's the Augusta you can play. One of the top-rated courses, if not the best in Mississippi. I mean, look at that. Does it make your mouth water?
Oh, I would like to be there right now. Not even kidding. I would play 36 with you today, buddy.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. Look, if you go to the Golden Moon Casino and place a bet of over $50, you get to play a round of golf at $35. That's a great deal. And don't forget, at the Timeout Sports Lounge, 20 TVs, you got, all of the amenities that you want with the 12 state-of-the-art odds and wager boards, 3 wager stations. You can place the in-person bets. You got a full juice bar for charging your tablets and phones. I know that all of us need that when we're doing it. And then the awesome traditional bar food and drinks while you're hanging out there watching the games. Jeff, this goes by so fast. This is becoming my favorite segment of the show. Let's do it again next week, my friend. Thank you.
Let's do it. I'd say good luck, but I don't mean it. I hope you have a terrible week, Mick.
We'll be back. We're going to break down Alabama and Southern Miss right after this on the
Yingling Traditional Lager. The beer for drinkers who know how to soar higher and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. Liftoff. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So go for glory. Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Thinking about trading or selling your current vehicle? Make sure you get more. Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. It's been an amazing year, and to keep it going, we need your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours, and we'll pay you more for it. Trading or selling? At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, get more. Corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
TuscaloosaHyundai.com. See dealer for vehicle value details.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the BamaInsider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
As the Tide embarks on their journey to the next title, celebrate with Daniel A. Moore's Tributes in Oil to the 2020 championship season. Unrivaled is Moore's commemoration of Alabama's national championship beatdown of the Buckeyes. And Heisman Heights portrays Devontae Smith's one-handed catch against LSU. Available individually or as a discounted championship season bundle. Visit DanielMooreArt.com or call 1-800-735-2787 to order your heirloom quality fine art print or canvas today.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
The Great Smoky Mountains area has some of the best fall drives in the nation. One of the most interesting and beautiful of these can be found on the way to Bluff Mountain. This fall, the best view is yours on Sevierville's Bluff Mountain Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Welcome back on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. I'm Mick Gillispie, hanging with not Kyle Henderson, but how about hanging with Ryan Griffin from Pearl River Resort. And Ryan, it's great to have you here as we hang and get ready for Alabama and Southern Miss. You're a guy that lives in Mississippi.
You know
about Southern Miss, don't you?
I know a little bit about Southern Miss.
That's your team, right?
That's one of my teams. There's no doubt. Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you here. And we were talking after we just saw that segment there where Jeff and I were making our picks. And you said, hey, it's if you spend $50 at Pearl River Resort.
At the sports book.
It's $25 for Dancing Rabbit.
Yeah.
That's what you showing up and being here does for all of the people that are watching.
Just saved them $10.
Yeah, just saved $10. But what a great golf course. You got a lot of things going on over at Pearl River. But first off, great to see you.
Yeah, man, good to be here.
So let's
great
talk.
Place.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit before we get into Pearl River Resort. Let's talk a little bit about what it's like to be a Southern Miss fan. There was a day when you guys beat Alabama.
There was a day. There's many days. 21 years, I think.
Yeah, that's hard for me to believe because I was there.
It was the last one, yeah.
It was in Birmingham, 21-zip. And those were some really good teams. They were coached well, very physical up front. And I remember, like, when Southern Miss was on the schedule, it didn't matter who it was. You knew you were going to get a tough game.
Yeah. There was a day that they were fun to watch, and it's still fun to watch. Still a good team. They got Frank Gore Jr., one of the running backs back out there this season.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool to see. But there was a time where they could play with anybody.
If you come by and hang out with us at Innisfree, we got some of these right here, some Pearl River Resort koozies. We're going to come back there and do the show again when Alabama plays Mississippi State. That's always a big game at the casino. The sports book's awesome. And, like Jeff and I sit around here and talk about gambling all the time. We just love, like, playing the games, watching, looking for the value, that's in there. But you guys have a lot more going on than just the sports book. I mean, we're sitting here talking. I look over, and it's like I see Travis Tritt's going to be there.
Yeah, we just booked Travis Tritt for November 6th. It's Saturday night. So that's going to be a great show. Good time. Tickets aren't on sale yet, but just keep checking ProRiverResort.com, and we should have them up in the next week or so.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what else you got going on?
Well, we've got, of course, we have the spa, we have the golf we just talked about. Through October, we're going to be giving away $50,000 in free play and in cash on Fridays and Saturday nights, called our Witches and Riches promotion.
Nice.
So that's a fun thing to do, and come in. All you do is play your favorite game, use your player's card, and you'll be in the drawing to win on Fridays and Saturday nights.
Oh, that's so much fun.
And then, of course, all the great food.
Tell me about it. I had those brontosaurus ribs when I was
brontosaurus
there
ribs. Oh, yeah, Mama Nims.
Mama Nims, yeah.
Man, that's something else.
The
That'll
meat it's just pulled right off the bone.
Yeah, but what a bone.
The bone was like this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the food. It's a great experience over there. And, we talk about it over here all the time that, we love going over to the Pearl River Resort and Casino in Choctaw, Philadelphia, Mississippi. And we love going to the sports book at the Timeout Lounge, just because of the location there, all of the fun that we have. And then you can make your picks count. You got the 20 TVs with feeds to all the major sports networks. So no matter what game you want to watch, they find it for you.
A great atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. 12 state-of-the-art odds wager boards, the 3 wager stations where you place your in-person bets. You got the full bar with juice. So, you're going to need all this stuff when you're working.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, especially when you download our app, the PRR Sports app, and you can do in-game betting, live betting right there while you're watching your favorite games. Or your least favorite games.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the ones that you put the money on, like I did last time, and they didn't go too well, or my least favorite games.
Least favorite games.
I got 22 with Miami. I thought I'm in business here. Alabama will win, and it'll probably win by 3 touchdowns, and then I'll be in good shape. Yeah, it was like not one of my. It was great. Glad that Alabama won.
Right.
But not glad that it turned out the way that it did. Well, it's great to see you. I know you got your family in town. This is a big game for you as someone that is a Southern Miss fan to get to come to Tuscaloosa and check out the environment.
Enjoy it every time.
Yeah. Do you come every time they play here?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Ryan, thanks for stopping by.
Mick.
When we come back, Kyle Henderson jumps back on. We break down Alabama and Southern Miss, 6:30 at Bryant-Denny Stadium. And then next week, Ole Miss.
That's going to be something.
Yep, a lot of Magnolia State football coming up here in Tuscaloosa. We'll be right back on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show.
Yingling Traditional Lager, the beer for drinkers who know how to soar higher and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So go for glory. Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the Bama Insider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
The Great Smoky Mountains area has some of the best fall drives in the nation. One of the most interesting and beautiful of these can be found on the way to Bluff Mountain. This fall, the best view is yours on Sevierville's Bluff Mountain Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
The world-famous Floribama has been serving up the good times and good music since 1964. And after 57 years, we're not even close to slowing down. There's live music 365 days a year and big events all year long, including the Frank Brown International Songwriters Festival. Mark your calendar and make plans to join us on the line November 4th through the 14th for a music lovers event like no other. You'll hear the stories behind the songs from the songwriters themselves. It's a full 10 days of incredible entertainment. Make plans to join us and get all the info online at frankbrownsongwriters.com.
Final segment on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show with Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillispie. I got to change this one more time and put it back to Kyle as we hang out with you here at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa, having a good time on a game day, and we get ready for a kickoff at 6:30. And Alabama and Southern Miss. There we go. Put you back in there. Our show's brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery, and honestly, I had a Yuengling already.
Yeah, I had a Yuengling.
Oh, let me turn you on, Kyle. There you go.
Oh, man. Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back, Kyle. Welcome back, Kata.
Yeah,
Mr.
Yuengling, quick story about Yuengling. I know one of the presenting sponsors. So when I lived in New Mexico, and that's where I'm from, a lot of people, I think when we had that, when Tua was quarterback, I had this amazing Polynesian following because I think they thought I was from Hawaii or something. It was amazing. So I miss you if you're out there listening and watching from Hawaii. We appreciate you. But anyways, you can't get Yuengling, or you couldn't at the time, past the Mississippi. So then when I went to Atlanta for a work meeting, I had Yuengling, and I was like, my goodness. I was like, I got to get some of this. And I went back to New Mexico. You can't. Now that I live in Alabama, we are always stocked. Love the black and tan as well.
Oh, yeah.
And remember that porter, the Hershey?
Oh, that was so good. The Hershey porter.
Is that done?
No, I mean, I think it's coming back out here, here really soon. The show's this segment is brought to you by our friends over at Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Barry Buckner and the gang over there take care of you. They've got not only award-winning cars that are amazing. We were watching the Ryder Cup today. Tiger Woods wasn't there, but he had a car accident, and thank goodness he was in a Genesis because it saved his life. They're just really well-built cars. And the dealership here in Tuscaloosa, Barry Buckner and his guys take great care of you. When you get one of those cars, when you need an oil change or something service, they drive to your house, leave a car, take your car, and then and go and fix it and then bring it back to you. So make sure you swing over there and say hi to Barry. We're going to have him on the show here sometime soon, and we appreciate all of the folks over there at Genesis of Tuscaloosa. All right, Kyle, we get into this part. Let me do that. Break down this matchup between Alabama and Southern Miss. And, I guess you got to start with the spread. I'm looking at the spread. You're talking about 40-some points, right? 41. I'm going to check it while you're talking because it could even be more. Up to somebody told me they saw it for 46 today.
Yeah, I think it's if you're looking for a score prediction out there, I think 52-7 probably be something that would sound right. Will Reichert knocks in a 52-yard field goal in the third quarter or something like that. I think when you look in a game like this, a lot of people are a lot of the secondary players are going to get to play the second and third string. Well, that's not necessarily true. And one of the things that Coach Saban said a long time ago, and it really resonated with me, is he said, look, the players need to develop 4 quarters to be 4-quarter ready because look, what's on the horizon. Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and if those guys haven't played up until halftime or 3 quarters, how are they going to be ready to play an entire game? So that's why if you're out there wondering sometimes, in the fourth quarter when Alabama's up, 40-0, whatever, and you're take the guys out. It's not. There's a bigger method to the mythology behind it.
Really. And I'm guessing that we're going to start to see this new developed depth that Alabama's talking about.
I mean, this team has so much depth. That's the thing that I love about this team, especially on the defensive side. There's so many guys that you can rotate in and out. For example, and a lot of players that are very similar. For example, Kool-Aid, JaQuincy McKinstry, I think he's very similar to Terrion Arnold, another freshman that's here. I think Malachi Moore and Brian Branch, I think that those two players are very similar as well. So you can kind of list a lot of players on the defensive side of the ball that are very similar. Still looking at Drew Sanders, because when you look at Drew Sanders from the outside linebacker position, stepping in for Chris Allen, those are big shoes to fill. And you got, of course, William Anderson. So as long as William Anderson is healthy and he wasn't 100% last week, but my goodness, a 60% William Anderson could be drafted at, number 1 or number 2, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, going to be the question for Alabama, too, is how are they going to respond to last week's game? And I'm not sure that Alabama might benefit from having a game this week. Look, Ole Miss took the week off. They got to prepare for Alabama. This might be a good week for Alabama to have this type of opponent just to try to get everything back in line for next week's game.
Yeah, I can see that. But, I mean, Mick, you keep serving the rat poison on the platter.
That's what I'm doing.
There's better things to eat at Innisfree. I mean, what were the wings of sauce?
Yeah, the Irish gold sauce.
Yeah, or I mean the shepherd's pie. So look, there's other things to eat here than rat poison that Mick keeps talking about Ole Miss, but I know you do too out there. You keep thinking about Ole Miss, and Lane Kiffin's on your mind, Matt Corral. Look, they have to take care of Southern Miss, and I get what you're saying. This game right now is another chance to fine-tune the offense, fine-tune the defense, and figure out which players need to get in a rhythm, figure out which players might not need to be starting, right? And figure out which players are ready to get into SEC battle because, as you just said, I mean, Lane Kiffin, I think, is out there. He's trolling for a reason. He's not only trolling to troll. He's trolling because he feels confident coming into Bryant-Denny Stadium. Honestly, he does. I mean, all head football coaches do, but Lane Kiffin feels that he's going to be the first former assistant to beat Nick Saban. That's why he got his license plate that says rat poison.
Yeah, I wonder if that's really his license plate. I mean, that's crazy. How about him? We're talking about him. How about him on his Instagram? He follows one guy, and it's Peyton Manning's nephew.
The guy's a social media guru, right? I mean, everything that he does. Look, we're talking about him. That's what that means. It's like, this is exactly, we fell into it. And you do too out there. When you're having your coffee, you're like, oh, Miss Alabama. But did you hear about what Lane Kiffin did?
Hey, I got off the elevator at Westgate Luxury Condominiums to see where our post-game show was. And as soon as I got off, there's this picture of Alabama's 2015 championship team, and there's Lane Kiffin staring right at you coming off the elevator. Yeah. Like, this guy's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Now.
He's living rent-free in Tuscaloosa, and he has the license plates or whatever. But, look into the game against Southern Miss, another opportunity to get better for Alabama. I want to see the continued play of Bryce Young. I want to see, the running back rotation. I think Brian Robinson is day-to-day. And I want to see which wide receivers can really step up. I mean, the big ball hasn't been a big threat from the offensive side. I think Bryce Young right now is 2 of 15 on passes over 20 yards. So there's a lot of people feel that the deep ball isn't where it needs to be. But then again, I keep saying this stat that, is fantastic. 9 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Not bad for a quarterback starting for Alabama.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up. A lot of people have talked about Bryce Young running. I think Bryce Young just needs to continue what he's doing. Yeah, maybe take some more risks on the ground, but do a better job of sliding when someone's coming. You don't want this guy getting hurt. I mean, he is really the linchpin of this Alabama offense right now. And, I mean, he is performing for a first-time starter as well as you could ask. So you don't want to see him get hurt. The question that I have is, who are the young guys that we're going to see moving forward, and how are they going to contribute? Because there's teams that are going to be able to challenge Alabama offensively and Alabama's defense, right? Ole Miss is one of those teams next week. Florida was one of those teams, and both of them did it last year. Alabama won the national championship, and they struggled on defense against both of those teams. It's like Nick Saban said last week to me, is having the depth to rotate guys in that are going to be able to help out, and they're going to need to do that.
I think one younger player to watch is certainly J.C. Latham. J.C. Latham is a tackle. I'm curious to see if he gets any rotation with the first-team offense, considering that I think that Alabama right now is still trying to figure out who the best 5 are for the offensive line. You also have Kendall Randolph in there. He's an upperclassman that's seen a lot of playing time. So I'm really curious to see what Doug Marrone, remember Doug Marrone is a former Jacksonville Jaguars head football coach. He needs to put the best 5 out there. I still think that Alabama's still trying to fine-tune their offensive line.
All right, Kyle, final thoughts. We talked about it. We'll be on the air after the football game on Bama Insider on the YouTube channel. For those of you that are watching, like and subscribe, hit the bell. We appreciate you being there. To those of you that are listening across the state of Alabama are here on the show today, live from Innisfree. We really appreciate you guys doing it on Jocks 2 in Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. We're going to be here every Alabama game day, previewing the Crimson Tide. Final thoughts, Kyle.
Final thoughts is, look, they have to take this one game at a time. I think that, the most important game is the game that's in front of you. And anytime you start overlooking a game and anytime you start talking about Ole Miss when the opponent is Southern Miss, you're going to find yourself in trouble. So Nick Saban does a great job of focusing this team. And this team, I think, is still trying to figure out its overall identity. That's not a problem going into a game like this, but I think it is a problem if you can't figure out that identity by the end of this game. I think you take it quarter by quarter. I think you take it play by play. Maybe that's coach talk, but isn't that the right thing to do? You can only take care of what's in front of you right now. This team isn't perfect. I think they are beatable this season, but who's going to beat them? I think if Coach Saban can continue to get the message to the players that, you need to get back to the Alabama standard on the defensive side. And I think they will. They certainly have the talent. And I think this offense is going to find its cohesiveness. I think the playmakers are there, no question. I think it's just a matter of, trying to gel correctly. And once again, you lose players like Najee Harris, Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. That's going to be tough to replace, really irreplaceable.
The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is presented by Tuscaloosa Hyundai, the Elantra, the Sinatra, or an SUV like the Tucson. Tailgating doesn't get any better. Kyle, thanks for coming out, man. It was awesome to hang out with you tonight.
Appreciate it, man. Excited to be here and excited for another college football Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Hey, guys, don't forget, I'll talk to you after the game with Kyle on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Special thanks to Tripp and all the folks here at Innisfree, Yingling Lager, and of course, Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey for presenting this remote. Roll Tide, everybody. Alabama, 6:30 against Southern Miss.
You can't spell Alabama without the Bama. And you can't spell Floribama without the Bama. That's not the only thing that Alabama football and the Floribama have in common. There's heritage and pride. And, of course, keeping the fans happy. For 57 years, this iconic honky-tonk on the Alabama state line has been keeping our customers happy with the utmost attention on customer service. Great food, live music 365 days a year, and more events than we have time to list. Get the info you need at Floribama.com. Make your plans to join us on the line.
Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
Well, howdy, football fans, and welcome to Week 4 of Leonard's Losers. The little smart pill machine was in overdrive last week at 24-8, so let's get started before she shifts to a lower gear. Clemson versus North Carolina State. The Tigers raced to Raleigh for a Saturday afternoon slobber knocker with a Wolfpack. The Tiger growl has been reduced to a weak purr when it comes to offense. While annihilating cupcake opponent South Carolina State, Dabo's boys have only hung 17 points on the board in 2 games. If the Tiger offense don't improve, they could become a buffet for the Wolfpack. Leonard's loser in a close one, North Carolina State, Tennessee versus Florida. The Big Orange Riflemen head to Gainesville looking to drain the swamp. The giant water lizards took a red effluent to the wire last week before losing by 2 points. The Vols will find the swamp is a year-round body of water infested by gators who feast on canines. Leonard's loser, Tennessee. Notre Dame versus Wisconsin. It's ESPN College game day at Soldier Field as the Pope's pupils battle the Badgers. The Fighting Irish have struggled at times, winning their opener against hapless Florida State at overtime, having to come from behind to narrowly defeat Toledo, and not looking very daunting defeating Purdue last week. Number 18, Wisconsin, is a 6-point favorite against number 12, Irish. That's got Leonard scratching his head and other places. Leonard's loser in a close one, Notre Dame. Southern Mississippi versus Alabama. The Red Effluents host the Golden Eagles from Hattiesburg in Bryant-Denny for this Saturday night Tuscaloosa tussle. The top-ranked Tide was taken to task in the swamp last week and needs this breather to rest and regroup. The Pachyderm should be covered with eagle feathers by the final gun. Leonard's loser, Southern Mississippi. Well, fans, that does it for week 4. We're leaving September in the sunset and heading into the month of frost and pumpkins. 1/3 of the season behind us. Remember, if you can't wear a white hat, wear a smile so we can tell you from the bad guys. Get me out of here, pussy.
Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It really is just that simple. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, other luxury brands charge a whole lot more because they can. Every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.